Никола Деков, добро вечер. Повели.
Секоја чест за гостинот, му го читав неговото резиме и мислам дека е перфектен гостин за ова шоу. Мене вака ме интересира. Значи, Африка е најбогатиот континент со природни ресурси и со енергија. Значи, Африка е нешто што е, да кажам, срцето на светот кај што може да се црпат ресурси. Денеска се црпат ресурси. Гледајќи картата, мапата на Африка, секоја земја која што е ослободена од некој си странски фактор, од банка или од, да не кажам, ослободители од USA и европски колонизатори, секоја земја од некој си затвор влева во уште поголем затвор. Значи, едноставно, ослободувајќи ја таа земја со тие нејзини природни ресурси, ги црпе странецот што ќе дојде да ја ослобода и едноставно го уништува населението и го тера на уште поголем роб да му биде, слеив. Значи, мене ми интересира, читав за енергетскиот систем на Јужна Африка. Таму се наведено дека тоа припаѓа енергетскиот систем и им припаѓа на народот на Јужна Африка. Комплетно. И е одделено од државата. Значи, комплетно се одделени енергетскиот систем на Јужна Африка од државата, од владата на Јужна Африка. На кој начин тоа е направено и како се контролира тоа? И како успева да се одржи енергетскиот систем на Јужна Африка цврст, за да не може државата да црпе од него, дали црпе пари од него, или едноставно се е тргнат настрана од ресурсите припаѓаат само на народот?
Well, the South African electrical supply company is called Eskom, and it used to belong to the government. It used to belong to the people. And then at some stage, it's not quite clear when, it was privatized and turned into a private company. So now, South Africa used to have probably the cheapest electricity in the world. And now, I think we've got the most expensive electricity in the world.
Suddenly.
Yeah, just in the last 10 years or so, well, since the ANC took over, slowly but surely things have been degrading. It's very clear that the ANC is an instrument of the banking elite. It takes a while for that penny to drop, but eventually you go, oh, it's the only conclusion you can reach, because everything they are doing is in favor of the banking elite. Like you say, the whole of Africa is a perfect example how the colonizers have very cleverly played the game. First they colonize the whole of African continent, and then they free the countries, but they keep the financial control. Remember the famous statement by one of the Rockefellers, I think, that says, I don't care who rules a country, he who controls the money will control the country. I think it was David Rockefeller that said that. And that's exactly what they're doing. So they give the country, they liberate the people, say, well, you've got your independence, but we will control the supply of the money. So that's just absolute slavery, keeping the country and the people enslaved. So the Eskom, the electricity supply, is, now when you look at the annual returns, they make like 40 billion rand turnover, and they make profits of several billion rand profits, and then they pay out millions and millions of rands to the directors and the shareholders of Eskom. This is a company that the people of South Africa paid for. We paid for the installations. We paid for the metals. Most importantly, if the minerals in the ground belong to the people, which it should, then why are we paying for electricity? Because the coal that is used to power the Eskom comes from the ground, should belong to the people.
Or water for hydro.
Or the water, yes.
Сакам само уште една споредба да направам од Македонија до Јужна Африка. Ме интересира дали во Јужна Африка на име енергија плаќате сметки, нормално на Еском. Се плаќат сметки за енергија. Во Македонија плаќаме 33% ангажирана моќност за одржавка на системот. Дали се плаќа исто како одржавка на системот плюс трошок на сметките на луѓето во Јужна Африка за електрична енергија?
No, what we do in South Africa is...
Или ја плаќате чисто енергијата што ќе ја потроши едно домаќинство?
We only pay. We only pay for electricity. So you get a bill, but it's a lot of money. Most people can't afford electricity at this stage. They live in small shacks and they go and buy prepaid electricity whenever they have a little bit of money. Otherwise, a lot of people live in the dark and often in the cold because they don't have enough money to pay for the electricity.
Ubuntu партијата предлага економска програма која кажува бесплатна струја за сите секаде во светот.
Yeah, absolutely.
Како би дошло до бесплатна струја?
Well, first of all, if you have a government of the people, by the people, for the people, then the government should do what the people want and not what they want or not what the central bank wants. So if the people want to find a source of electricity that is free or cheap, the government must do that because they're supposed to do what the people want. And so that's the first point of departure. But we all know that free electricity and alternative sources of electricity have been discovered many, many times by great scientists and great inventors. And
Nikola Tesla.
And here, for example, Nikola Tesla is obviously the greatest example in the world, but there have been others before Nikola Tesla and after Nikola Tesla. And all that technology and all that knowledge is always suppressed. People are tortured, they killed, they abducted, they paid off, they threatened, so that these alternative sources of electricity never make it to the people. And I believe that we're reaching a stage now, and I've been very vocal about this with the Ubuntu movement, and especially on the political front with the Ubuntu party. I've been very vocal about the fact that the foundation for a new social structure will have to rest on the supply of an alternative and a free source of electricity. Because once you have a free supply of electricity to the people, we can change virtually everything that we do in our lives. The way we live, the way we drive motor cars, the way we fly, everything will change.
Michael, znači, besplatna енергија, free electricity. Да кажеме, доколку Јужна Африка има доволно ресурси на водена енергија и на јаглен, во тој случај може би она има 100% покривање со електрична енергија од домашни извори. Да кажеме, во Македонија и во многу држави во светот не е така. Туку се бавиме со увоз на недостатокот од струја. Во тој случај и да сака државата како наша не може да е бесплатна струја, оти мора да ја увезе, мора да ја плати.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that you don't have to have electricity from hydroelectric power or from coal. There are other forms of electricity. There's technology that's referred by many names: zero-point technology, magnetic perpetual motion technology. And there are various names for it.
Но за тоа треба време. Значи не може утре да е тоа. Сега да кажеме сончева енергија или енергија од струите на морето или од бранови или од било што, не може преку ноќ тоа.
И многу пари.
Многу пари. Well, the thing is, and this is again, it comes back to the money, right? So if we have a people's bank, and this is why we bring everything to the people's bank. The moment we close the central banks, the private central banks, and we create a people's bank. The people's bank job, what is the job of the people's bank? Is to issue money for the people, for everything that the people need to do, for the upliftment of the community. So we can create our own money. We don't need to go to a private company and say, oh, please make us some money so we can borrow it from you and then pay you back at interest. We can create our own bloody money. Thank you very much. So the job of the People's Bank is to do exactly this, to make money available as a medium of exchange to improve the lives of the people in the country on every level imaginable. In agriculture, in healthcare, in engineering, and in free electricity.
Ама да кажеме, ако тоа го направи Јужна Африка или некоја друга држава, еве победи примерно Ubuntu партијата и почне да ги воведе оваа банката ја прави банка на луѓето и така натаму, во тој случај ќе биде дискомуницирана, откачена од светот. Нема да се согласи светот, вие таа држава сама да ги прави банките. Значи тие примери на такви на држави кои се обиделе сами нешто да тргнат се жестоко жестоко уништувани од естаблишментот светски, на светската влада во сенка.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately been the past situation. I do, however, believe that what you mentioned earlier is that there is a global rise of unity consciousness. People are waking up. In the past, people were ignorant of this. Now, the people are not so easily fooled anymore, and large numbers of people understand the problem. And where previously armies were allowed to march against their own people, now I don't think it's going to be that easy and that simple anymore to get the members of your own family to march against your brothers and sisters because you want free electricity. So the world is changing, and I think it is happening at this time for specific reasons, and these are deeply spiritual reasons that the world is changing, the people's consciousness is changing, we're rising collectively, the unity consciousness of the people around the world is rising, and this is why I think we live in this new age where this great change is taking place.
Кој е следниот потек? После, да кажеме, преземањето или после преименувањето на банката во банка на граѓани, кој е па следниот чекор во Ubuntu програмата?
Well, the moment you have a people's bank, you can start issuing money for research and development in every area of human endeavor. From the smallest villages to the largest cities, it will allow people to move out of the cities that they trapped. Most people live in cities because they come from the country, they go to the city to find a job. They don't live in the city because they like it. They come to the city because they think they're going to find a job. And Africa specifically is a great example of that. And the giant metropolitan areas, New York, Los Angeles, and so forth, London, are the same story. Millions of people live there, not because they want to live there, they come there to find a job. Now, all those people can immediately go back and live in their small towns and villages in beautiful countryside, fresh water from the mountains, live in harmony with nature, with all your neighbors and your friends, by choice, because whatever it is you want to do will be provided for by the People's Bank, as long as it is to uplift the community and not for personal enrichment. So that if you want to start a community project in your village to fix the roads or build a better hospital or whatever, all that money will be provided by the People's Bank. So what a People's Bank does, in essence, it frees the people up to live wherever they want to live, do whatever they want to do that they're good at, that drives them, that makes them wake up in the morning with a smile on their face, to uplift the communities virtually immediately and start to create paradise on earth among the people, and allow people to realize that the money is not that important, that what we do as humanity, as human beings together, that's more important.